Hey, what's up guys, Matt here, and we'll be quickly talking about the recent rebalances of Uniques leading up to Awakening's release in coming, give or take, July 10th, and items going legacy. What is legacy? Why does this fuck the economy up in some things? Why is it good? Why is it bad? Why is it? Why is? So first off, recently there's been a post 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, July 21st, June 21st, which is my birthday, by the way, saying that certain items have been rebalanced. Now, to the casual player or the moderate player, you may think, alright, so the rebalancing items because some are too strong, some are too weak, yada yada. Why does this affect me? Why does this affect me as the player? Well, there's a thing where certain items, because of the coding, the way they're written, will go what's referred to as going legacy. Now, the way the coding's written can make some items go universally change, and some items the data is stored on the item itself, and it cannot be changed. And there's the previous version, and then there's the new version. As if when the change is made, all versions that drop after that point will be the newer, updated version. So the post on Reddit is here, and the reason this is the problem is because when some things go legacy, the prices go crazy. And even when you can see, I'm talking about the new change of High Desire. Yes, it is looking usable for endgame, and all these posts, and you'd be like, well, where is the speaking of legacy? Why is it? Where is it? Why is it? Why is it so far, ridiculously far down? Is because sometimes people downvote them and try to bury it to hide it from the public light, because drop restricted items or legacy items can be very, very expensive, and they're profitable when bought low and sold high. So people, when this news go out, will try to keep it on the down low. Some people, sometimes including myself, and try to pick up a bunch of items, namely the two big ones being Mjolnir and Wind Ripper. Now, in legacy items or discontinued version of items, they've been subjected to changes and balances due to effect, blah, 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 blah. Prices are generally high. That is an understatement in certain cases. Sometimes it's just the base item, sometimes it's things where the price doesn't change much, sometimes the previous version is worse than the current version. Now, to explain why items go legacy in detail, there was a post a long, long time ago by a certain person name right there, his name, and basically it's written in the Boolean coding logic of it. So basically what it explains is that if an item information is plus 99 life, the life, they're different written in coding in this fashion. The number is stored on the item and the wording is stored on the global coding. So if that number changes, you'd have to go to each item individually and change the number as compared to changing this in the global code. So an example of that on a small scale is Silver Branch, where the number 1 to 2, as it is now and then, was stored on the item itself, and the plus level of bow gems in this item was stored on the global coding of the way it works. So the previous version, they would have to go into each individual player's account, into each item, and change them on a case-by-case basis, which is not only realistic, but also it's sketchy with account privacy, and I'm not really sure where the line is drawn there. But on changes like this, the pricing goes for +2 Silver Branches, maybe to a couple Exalted. Silver Branches now, a couple of Chaos. So exponentially, yes, that is 80 times the price compared to what it is now, but that really makes zero to no ripple. An example of where an item didn't go legacy is because the leech effective rate was stored in a percentage overall. So Acuities did not go legacy. It was globally changed, which is for the better. Now there's been like I said, like in Silver Branch's case, it wasn't a big ripple. In Chaom's Heart, it was a massive ripple, in the fact that Chaom's Heart, you could earn 50 times the price. Legacy versions upwards to the high 200 plus exalts, and over time the price will only go up because there are a set amount, and the way inflation works, the price will go up and up and up and up and up. Now currently the things that are expensive were from the development manifesto were mainly Mjolnir and Wind Ripper. The way the wording was, they couldn't get it. The wording was, the number was stored on the item for Mjolnir's casting, chance to cast, socketed skill gems, and the actual wording of chance to cast was globally. So the number is on the item, so it's not going to get globally changed, it's going to go legacy. Same with Wind Ripper, the numbers are on the item, so that nerf does not affect previous ones, and it will go legacy. Now, Wind Rippers were give or take 25 exalted, now they're selling upwards to 80 exalted. in trade chat, it's gotten a bit crazy, and it's known to people buy them. Now the price is already pretty much set. Windrippers can selling for 100 Exalted Plus, so that price tripled. But the tripling is a lot more of a problem. Now Mjolnir, there people aren't really selling them often, or because there's not a lot of them. But they're give or take going for 150 plus Exalted compared to the 50 we were going previously. I was able to buy 2 when I saw this change, and I considered these for a very long time and potentially sell them for 200 plus Exalted, making a, I don't know, 300, 400 Exalted profit. So when you see these changes to items such as these, as soon as possible you'd like to buy them up and flip them later. That's the obvious impulse, and that's great for you as a personal player, but these things are detrimental to the game, going late Legacy in general, and we'd like these things to kind of phase out as time goes on. Now, you may not agree with lots of the changes they make for rebalancing, but they're working on the coding from what they've been saying so that the Legacy itself will become less of a thing over time. Now, hopefully this is the last batch of large Legacy changes, obviously some of which are positive, in the case of Sibyl's Paw, some of which are negative and affect more people than Mjolnir's Windrippers in the case, you know, of Meganords getting nerfed. These affect the everyday person, and these changes are obviously made for temporary leagues. But for stuff like hardcore, it's not that bad because eventually people will die and it phase out, and it ends up in the worst place, which is standard, which is the cesspool for trading in all of Path of Exile. Now, we've accepted that it is a horrible place to trade standard, but a lot of people play standard, more than you'd imagine, and these things really make that 0.1% who own everything more so. Myself not even included. I mean, but hopefully over time Legacy items will be phased out, although the ones that exist now, in their nigh infinitum it seems, have made an everlasting change to the standard economy and will do so forever, it seems. So that about covers up my little discussion about Legacy items, and well, what you think about them is up to you, because in my case this recent batch of Legacies have benefited my financial gain and path tremendously. But overall, it's taking a shit in the game. So that about wraps it up. I'm at Lighty. Any questions, concerns, comments, message, whatever, you know me. And I'll see you guys later.